I'm Susan from Celebrity Metal Manufacturing. We are a new business to the area. We sell metal roofing and components for all types of buildings. Today we're going to actually talk about a really important topic, and it is to know your fasteners. Your fasteners, of course, commonly known as screws, are what holds your metal roofing and binding it to whatever you're needing it for the application. We're going to start with the simpler roof. It's for your residence, and normally what would happen is that your metal roofing would be put on top of some type of lathing boards. You generally would, and so in that application you would need a screw or a fastener that is representing for the metal that goes through the metal and into your wood surface. That would be this common little, is a size 10 shaft, is 1.5 inches long. And most importantly about this particular fastener is if you notice this little groove, you know that this is a quality screw because of this groove. This actually helps guide and cut into your surface material and helps it drive down without wobbling on you, so that you're assuring that you're getting the best out of the threads and a good job fastened your metal to the wood surface. In this case, this is your most common. It is a 1/4 inch head, and it has a gasket material, neoprene, to seal off so that water can't drip. But in this particular screw, it is in 2 parts. Not a problem. This is a typical fastener for the industry. And generally speaking, you know, with all screws, they're never going to be a complete lifetime. But guessing, I would say 10 to 12 years that you would get from this to where the gasket material is held up and not leaking. To do an upgrade on that particular, the industry has a long life screw, which is the same 10 shaft, same cutting groove, except that this cap is an umbrella, and it goes over the top of this gasket material. And in this case, when tightened down to the proper torque, you have very little exposure to the weather element. So this particular fastener is recommended because of this quality. Unfortunately, it is a more expensive fastener. However, you probably would get more like 20 to 25 years out of this screw before you even have to change those screws. So on the flip side of that, it's really saving you money in the long run. You don't have to hire somebody to come and change out your screws in 10 years. And so you're getting the value right there. Okay, next scenario is you did change or bought a piece of property that needs these screws changed. If you try to go back in, and you want to go back in the same hole so that you don't make multiple holes. But in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to use a size 14 shaft. Now you're getting a whole new different bite from the same hole. This is going to, once again, ensure that it's wide enough to cut you a newer hole and yet get good grip from your threads there. Okay, so in that same application, if you have trims and things like that have to be your ridge caps, whatever, your contractor is probably going to also order some stitch screws. A stitch screw is a metal to metal screw. It binds, and because of its cone shape, it literally goes from, let's just say, from the edge of the ridge cap into the high of your panel. and it helps really pull it tight. And that is the reason for the cone shape. It literally kind of sucks the two together and binds it. Okay. So now we are going to move over to our metal application. And this is when you have tube steel, a purlin of any kind, and you're putting your panels together. Most commonly used is a tech screw. The difference is you have a drill point. This full drill point is strictly to drill through your hard metal surface, and then the threads hold it bound for your panel into your purlin or your tube steel. Okay, same scenario. Most of the time the manufacturers of this use this type of head, even though it's two parts. They still make the long life version, which is still a little better. This particular one is still a very, very good quality. And same instance here, you would use your metal to metal to put your trim pieces together. Okay, but last but not least, this particular one is a size 14 shaft. By the way, these tech usually start at around a 12. They don't go as slim as a 10. So this is a 10 by 1.25 inch tech screw, which also allows at this length for 3 inch of fiberglass insulation on the back side of your panel, in between the your purlin and your panel. This will bind down as much as the 3 inches of insulation. Anything more than that, you would need to go to probably 1.5 inches. But this particular one is, it is just a structural screw, no washer needed, because this is to bind your just straight into tube steel or a purlin. Okay, so you're not binding your metal panel to this. So it's just more of a structural screw. You might be putting a clip and clip it to the surface or something. And just anytime you're putting two surfaces like that together, you don't need the gasket material to take up any of the space. They would use this, and it's commonly called a hat channel screw. So anyway, all of these are available in traditionals and long life. So that today is the beginning of a series of educational films on the components, and of course today is our fastener. So thank you so much for listening to me. And always feel free to reach out to us at CMM. Our telephone number is 985-590-3834. And my name is Susan. Thank you so much.